Hello viewers, Luke here. Today I want to take you through the evolution of the online mode for the Battlefield series, specifically on the console. All Battlefield games are well known for their large maps and vehicle warfare on their online mode, offering a large range of vehicles to operate, or the ability to play on foot if preferred. Even though Battlefield 2 Modern Combat was the first Battlefield installment made for the console, I should mention the PC had Battlefield 1942, Vietnam, Battlefield 2, and Battlefield 2142, which started the franchise before console got involved in the series. Battlefield Modern Combat was first released on PlayStation 2 and Xbox on October 24, 2005, before coming out on Xbox 360 later. It was the first Battlefield game that actually had a legitimate campaign mode. The multiplayer consisted of 24 player lobbies and 8 maps in the base game, with 2 choices of game modes being Conquest and Capture the Flag. You had multiple classes to choose from, each with their own pros and cons, promoting different tactics for each class. There was a good range of vehicles, from tanks to helicopters, along with boats, jeeps and bikes. Although as of April 15, 2010, there was no longer an online functionality for Xbox, followed by PS2 as of June 30, 2014. Battlefield Bad Company was the next installment for the console. It was released June 26, 2008. The game only had Gold Rush in the initial release. Conquest was added in later due to popular demand from the community. Conquest remains the most frequently played mode in the series. There is a total of 12 maps on Bad Company, with 95% of the map being destructible thanks to the Frostbite engine, allowing the players to play more strategically by changing the environment for their benefit. Bad Company was also the first game in the series to introduce dog tags, which can be collected if an enemy is killed with a knife, making knife kills very satisfying to execute. After Battlefield Bad Company's success, it wasn't long before Bad Company 2 was released on March 5, 2010. With added features such as more refined bullet projectile motion, no longer did the bullet drop only apply to shells, rockets, grenade launchers, thrown weapons and snipers, but every weapon in the game, adding more skill to every kill you get. Specializations were also added to Bad Company 2. This gave you perks to your weapons and vehicles you executed the kills with, giving you incentive to use certain equipment. Vehicles such as planes, quad bikes, patrol boats and armoured vehicles were added, along with game modes like Squad Rush, Team Deathmatch and Onslaught. Battlefield 3 came out October 25, 2011, and was noticed by the whole gaming community as one of the best online multiplayer games out for the year. The amazing graphics, audio and gameplay set a new bar for online FPS shooters. Classes became more balanced, allowing the player to pick from any 4 classes and still be effective on any of the 13 maps from the base game. Bullet drop on weapons from the previous game was amplified, which worked well with the large maps. Another change that disappointed gamers was the tune down of the environment damage. A lot of the environment is still destructive, but the level of destruction is not as high as the Bad Company games. However, instead of highly destructive buildings, Levolution made a debut in the series. Levolution would change the environment at certain points of the match by triggering a collapse of buildings or tower. The audio in Battlefield 3 completed the game. From the sound of an explosion meters away from you, to a bullet cracking as it flies by you, it really creates a world that the player can get immersed in. On October 31st, 2013, Battlefield 4 was released. However, the game received a lot of criticism due to it being almost unplayable online. Almost a full year later, and EA was still releasing major updates, though by then most of the bugs were fixed. Besides the bug issue, it soon followed the success of Battlefield 3. Battlefield 4 used the same mechanics as Battlefield 3, however EA enhanced multiple features in the game. For the first time on console, you could play as a commander, which allowed a player to command the battlefield from a console or mobile device. The Levolution mechanic became a bigger part of each match, with bigger tumbles and the ability for the player to trigger the Levolution during the game, offering new tactics. Classes stayed the same as the previous game and customizations became a bigger feature. Features like zeroing in on targets became available to all snipers, along with new guns and perks added to all classes. More water vehicles such as jet skis were added, along with the ability to wield a pistol in the water, in an attempt to make sea warfare a bigger element in the game. Console players were able to now join 64-player matches if they were playing with the next-gen consoles on any of the 10 maps on the base game. Battlefield 4 received a total of 5 DLCs, adding new maps and content to the gameplay. Battlefield Hardline is the newest game in the series, being released March 17, 2015. EA have taken a different path from the military theme. Instead, it's now a cops and robbers style game. What this means is it is essentially the same game with less vehicles and guns along with different game modes and maps. The military vehicles like the tanks and planes have been replaced with civilian and police vehicles. 5 new game modes replaced all the old ones and 4 new classes were introduced. The game still feels like Battlefield, with all the mechanics feeling the same, but with smaller guns. The old game modes have all been replaced with new ones based around the cops and robbers theme, like car chases and robbing banks. This has been my video on the evolution of the Battlefield games. I'm Luke Chill. Thanks for watching.